Last week at midnight, as the clock ticked to 12 and September turned to October, the U.S. government was shut down for a number of different departments and services. This is not something that is particularly new. It had happened previously in 2018, but this feels a little more ominous. We have a president now who, in the 9.5 months since he has taken office, has done more to undermine societal norms and political checks and balances than any president in history, and has done more to foment chaos and division than any other president in history. The shutdown is just the latest in a series of things that he has been doing that will divide the country to give him an opportunity to send in military to the streets and get people mad at one another, because when the country is divided, it gives him an excuse to do things that are what are only done by authoritarians in other parts of the world. What does this all mean for your portfolio? Well, so far it hasn't meant anything. Markets yawned and, in fact, even hit new highs in the aftermath of the government closing down. So the concern that I think people need to ruminate about is whether or not there is any kind of a correlation or spillover between what goes on in capital markets and what goes on in Capitol Hill. In my view, those two are related, in that what Trump has been doing is a canary in the coal mine. So far, there has not been a major economic implication associated with Trump's actions. And I cannot help but think that this might be a circumstance where, despite the fact that it's been benign up to date, that this is a situation where the words that people say you should never use in finance might actually apply. Those words, of course, are, this time it's different. Now, I don't know if it's going to be different for capital markets. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of a reason for the markets to come off their all-time highs, or for the asset bubbles that exist in multiple asset classes to burst. They may not. What I do believe is unequivocally, unambiguously true is that we have never in our lifetimes on this side of the Atlantic seen anything like Donald Trump 2.0 in politics. And as a result, we are truly in our uncharted waters. And as a result, this time really is different. What is not known is whether or not the politics will spill over into capital markets. What seems unambiguous, and I don't believe any reasonable person can contest, is that what we're doing now in political waters is something that we have never, ever seen before. I don't know if that means you should do anything differently. I know for my own clients, I have been trying to prepare from late 2024 and into the new year by moving into hard assets, real estate, gold bullion, infrastructure, that sort of thing. I believe those are things that are safer in this kind of an environment, but I don't know. And no one knows. But my view is this time really is different on the political front. This has been Weekly Wealth Update, a Make Better Wealth Decisions podcast dedicated to explaining how current events impact your portfolio and the wealth decisions you make. Tune in every Monday for commentary on how the news of the week affects your portfolio and your thinking.